Anne hasn't really come to terms with the death of her son, has she?
Yeah, I lose my husband and my son during the invasion, and as you guys know, this takes 6 months after. And yeah, my backstory was that I was at the hospital at the time. I play a pediatrician, and now I'm some meatball surgeon who has to kind of be the head of the civilians, but I don't talk much about my family. My character is very selfless, and it's always about everyone else, sort of a mother hen type for everyone. So you don't really learn that much about my son, not yet.
Are we going to learn more?
I don't know. I mean, there'll be bits and pieces. I think there's so many characters to cover, and I think there's an element of mystery in our whole show. I just think science fiction shows are that way just fundamentally, but I think eventually you'll learn some things, as I'll learn them too.
There was that great moment when she realized that she didn't have anything to put up on the wall. Can you talk about what that was like, filming that?
Yeah, that was really intense. I remember shooting that scene, and Noah and I were really quiet before, and I had to go to a really emotional place, and it's sometimes hard, you don't always want to go there, but the writing is so beautiful, and everyone has pictures posted of their kids that they lost, and I had lost my son, but I had no mementos, nothing. And there's such a shame in that, knowing you're a mother and you have nothing to show for it. So it was really cathartic to kill the alien, and then Tom follows me out. And the only thing I put up is, I just killed an alien as my bloody hand on the wall. And Noah was so fantastic that later on in my trailer, I got a little note, the very, piece of paper that I put my hand on that just said, this is when Tom falls in love with Anne. So that was really sweet. I like to tell that story.
Scene, and the hair stood up on my arm when I read it. She puts her handprint on the wall. And in our bizarre universe, that's a romantic act that she does. She kills the skitters so that we could figure out how to kill them quietly so that my son could go in with his harness strapped to his back and try and find his brother. So it's this great act of generosity, which, in a normal show would be an action sequence, and in our show is an intimate, private moment between two people.
So
I thought Moon just played the hell out of that scene. It's one of my favorite scenes from the whole season.
What's in store for Tom and Anne as a couple?
Well, we've talked about this a lot, that, obviously there's a great affinity and chemistry between these two characters, but it's very difficult to dedicate screen time to interpersonal relationships without dissipating the tension that we're trying to say is always there and ever present. So it's a relationship that really plays itself out across crowded rooms with two very busy people wishing that they had more time to explore, and then towards the end of the season, that opportunity comes, and it feels very well earned and sweet when it does. Is that vague enough for everybody?